morning. It's Friday, March 10th. And one of the great things about our country is the amount of news stations that we have at our disposal. Whatever your particular leanings are, there's a news station that will satisfy them. And there are many who listen to only a single station when they get all their news. Some people prefer CNN, some people prefer MSNBC, some people watch CBS and NBC, and then there are those who watch Fox. And there are many people who are loyal to a particular station, and they don't watch anything on any other station except one that seems to agree with their way of life. And so this is a story about Fox News, about being sued by the Dominion voting machine company, and about the actions that were taken by Fox News on the evening in November when they became the first station in the nation to announce that Joe Biden had won the election. They made that statement based upon the fact that he had won Arizona. And this created a huge turmoil in their office, because they knew that their fan base was 100% loyal to Donald Trump. And newscasters like Laura Ingraham and Carlson, they were upset that the Decision News Desk made this decision to announce that Trump had lost the election. Now, the reason that Fox was able to make that announcement was that they had a new piece of software, a new algorithm that calculated, based upon the results of the election in Arizona, that Trump had won the election. This new software was leading edge. It was way ahead of software that everybody else had. So they made the announcement. And there were many at the station that were upset by making the announcement. They were not necessarily upset that Trump lost the election. They were upset because this news would affect their base, their listening and watching base. They didn't want people to turn against them. They wanted to produce the news that was going to make their constituency, their watching population, happy. And they knew that if they announced first, if they came out first and said that Trump was the loser, that their station would be affected, that the viewers of their station would go down, their profits would disappear. So they played the big money game, and they became election deniers. They took to the airwaves and defended Trump's position and agreed with him that there was fraud in the election. And that was because their base could not accept defeat. So I ask you, do we really have great news stations if this could go on in this country? And the people who ran Fox, Rupert Murdoch and his crew, they were upset. They were not upset with the fact that Trump lost the election. They were upset that they made this terrible decision to be the first people to announce it. And then they had to sit through this whole campaign of the Fox leading reporters like Tucker Carlson, who wanted to defend Trump's position, wanted to make believe that Trump's conspiracy theories were correct. And they often echoed those conspiracy theories on the air. So you see, being first is not always the best thing when money's involved. So they wanted to hide it. In reality, they wanted to hide it. And their stupidity in getting involved with Dominion and standing by the fact that Trump accused Dominion of fraud has now got Fox on the legal edge of a $1.6 billion loss in the lawsuit. Is that what they really intended to be on that night, when they tried to avoid telling the nation the truth immediately? Standing up and saying, we have the best software in the world and we predict that Donald Trump is a loser. They look back on that as a huge mistake. And how many times in your memory can you think of an organization that has a piece of information that puts them at the leading edge of their profession, and they want to bury it because of their fan base, because they will upset people. Telling the truth should not upset people. Telling the truth should not cost you business. But that's America. That's America when you have a cadre of people who believe a certain way and refuse to look elsewhere to find out what's really going on around them, to take a look at many opposing views on things. When you have people who avoid doing that and they march to a single drummer, this is the kind of things you are confronted with. You can't upset the drummer. So I tell you that Fox News, which is not a favorite station of mine, even though I have watched it occasionally, I really think their group of celebrity broadcasters, announcers, whatever you want to call them, news people, and I use that term loosely, are not to my liking, because they are so far to the right and so far off base and proven to be not 100% truthful. How can we watch them? How can you watch Fox and depend on anything they tell you? Big mistake. Big mistake. But then there's much in this country that seems to be executed on these types of principles. So I leave you with that. Fox News' dilemma, and that might cost them $1.6 billion. They should have told the truth and stuck with it right away, instead of worrying about the reactions of their fan base. They created that fan base and they have to live with it. So I'll see you in the morning. Bye.